singer R. Kelly is being sentenced today and could face life in prison. He was convicted of racketeering and other charges in connection with recruiting women and children for sex. His attorney is asking for fewer than 14 years in prison, citing his traumatic childhood. Let's bring in senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky and ABC News contributor, managing partner for the Cochrane firm, Shauna Lloyd, as well as ABC News contributor and Sirius XM radio host Mike Muse for a little bit more on this. Aaron, I want to start with you. What can we expect from the court proceedings today, and will we hear from accusers?
We are going to hear from the accusers. They filed in under law enforcement escort into Brooklyn Federal Court, where R. Kelly is facing sentencing. Prosecutors want him to spend at least 25 years, if not more, in prison, and at 55, that could put him in prison for much of the rest of his life. The defense is asking for no more than 10 years, saying he had a traumatic childhood himself. But if you listen to prosecutors, they said that R. Kelly put his fame and wealth to work to lure women and girls into his orbit, and then he subjected them to psychological manipulation and physical and sexual abuse. The victims are going to say how that impacted their lives. Many of them may make statements outside of court afterwards. And this is after 30 years of sexual misconduct allegations that have dogged R. Kelly. This will be the first time, Diane, he's actually punished for them.
Now, Shauna, this argument by defense attorneys that he had a traumatic childhood, how likely is that to have an impact on the sentencing?
So these arguments about his childhood are what we call mitigation. They're mitigation factors that are intended to persuade the court to look towards a more lenient sentence than they would otherwise look at. They can be persuasive, but in a case of this magnitude where we're talking about 30 years and these level of charges, I am curious to see how it's going to fall on the court, because I don't think it's going to have the level of impact that the defense is hoping for.
And Mike, R. Kelly was one of the biggest stars in the music industry. These allegations against him go back decades. So how much of an impact did Surviving R. Kelly, that documentary, play in getting here?
Surviving R. Kelly, for me, was the key indicator that allowed us to get here. Never before had we seen all the accusers together, the victims together at one time, telling their story over a 6-part series. And when you hear that over and over for 6 parts, you cannot help but be moved by their stories. You cannot help be moved by the pain. You can't be moved by what trauma they were experiencing. And as a result of that, it made everybody pause, and it questioned every consumer, every artist, every fan in terms of how we've ever experienced an R. Kelly album and song, and it made us say something needs to be done.
So, Aaron, what happens after today? Is this the end of the R. Kelly case, or could there be more to come?
There's more to come, because he faces additional charges in other states, and the defense is also saying that R. Kelly himself, after not testifying at trial, may make a statement in court ahead of his sentencing. We'll see what he has to say.
All right, Aaron Katersky, Shauna Lloyd, Mike Muse, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.